Tuesday nights and a program on Thursday afternoons. Our next program on Thursday is going to be called Boom Splat. It's about learning about physics. You already knew about that? Oh, then tell me more about it. Oh, you don't? Oh.
My grandma's one will tell.
Oh, that's fine. Well, then we can learn more now. So, what will happen on Thursday at least will be there will be a very large ping pong ball cannon that we will fire ping pong balls at the speed of sound.
Oh, I know that.
So, that might be a pretty cool thing to come to. That's Thursday. Pardon?
How do you make this thing work?
You'll find out on Thursday. So, our next 1 week from tonight, we are having our Appalachian Play Party, which is going to be Appalachian games and music. There'll be lots of banjos, and it's a lot of fun. They had it at the Nelsonville Library last summer, and they had a lot of fun dancing and music. It'll be really cool. So there is that. So again, I might say that again in a minute, but I just want to let you all know now that that's what we have to look forward to. And you guys who are sitting kind of far over here, you might want to move over here. You'll be able to see a little bit better over here. You might not be able to see what's projected up here if you're out that far. So just so you can see everything just perfect.
Kind of perfect.
Almost perfect.
Kind of what I mean.
Exactly. We're agreeing. We're doing good. Also, I wanted to thank the Friends of the Athens Library. They always contribute funds for all these cool programs that we have, not just over the summer, but also throughout the year. So we just always want to thank them, because without them, we wouldn't be able to have so much cool stuff here. So.
That's not really cool if it's for you.
Sure it is.
Nuh-uh, that was from yesterday.
It's the same. What this shows.
Don't care. I don't care.
Well, that's nice. Okay.
I'm just trying to annoy you.
One more thing that I just remembered is, some of you might know about this already, but at all of the branch libraries, including this one, there are these very nifty trifolds full of science experiments for the Great Summer Library Adventure. And we have 3 different types of experiments. You can just grab them, you can do them at home, you can do them in the library, and you'll learn something cool. So you can learn how to make paper airplanes, and learn about what changes them, about different weights and sizes and things. You can learn about what's in your backyard, and you can learn about different kinds of science that you can work on with friends. So that is at our circulation desk in a big trifold. You can't miss it. So feel free to, after this program, come in, find some cool experiments you can take home and do at home when you're not at the library. And so I'll say, you might want to move over this way to be able to see a little better over there. Hi, Reese.
So I'll do about a 10, 15 minute talk, and then we'll get into the slideshow until after that. So, I mean, if we wanted to start in a couple minutes, then if people are still drifting in, they won't miss the slideshow. They won't miss the t-shirt craft. So, do you want to explain about the t-shirts, or do you want me to?
It might be better for you.
Okay. Can I do that right now?
Sure. Sure.
So, and where are the t-shirts?
Our t-shirts are over here. We'll move them into a more accessible place
so,
when that time comes.
Just one note before we start. We are going to do a t-shirt craft. T-shirts are provided. And then we're going to, the process is, this is going to be at the end. We're going to go outside, put our t-shirts in the grass. We're going to put newspaper in between the front and the back, slip it in the shirt so that the dyes don't go through to the other side. And then the adults are going to join in with this. They're going to be doing the spraying. So, and I'm going to do a model. It's really easy, so you can get involved in the process.
Because I stole your shirt yesterday.
Oh yes, but I'm not gonna do a model like yesterday. That was an extra shirt. Today I'm just gonna take one of the kids' shirts. So we're gonna choose the shirts first, then I'm gonna take one of the shirts and work with that child. Okay, a little different than this.
Okay, so just to go over again, some more people came in. You may already know this because you probably have our very nice book camp brochures. We have lots of extras if you've misplaced yours or if you've lost yours. You can take some more. We have programs all summer, every Tuesday and Thursday. On Thursday, this Thursday at 2 o'clock, we have a program that's called Boom Splat, where we'll be having a ping pong ball cannon that launches ping pong balls at the speed of sound, which will be very, very, very loud and very, very, very fun. So feel free to come. That's Thursday at 2. A week from today, we have our Appalachian Play Party, which will be lots of music and dancing and games and fun. So feel free to come to that. So before we begin, I'll introduce our presenter, Jerry Schneider. He comes all the way from Vermont to share what he knows about bats with us today. And in another time in his life, he was a children's librarian, so he knows all about the ins and outs of the libraries. So without further ado, I will give the floor to Jerry and we'll learn some things about the wonderful world of bats.
Thank you, Luke.
All right.
I did grow up in Ohio. Raise your hand if you know where Fremont, Ohio is. Okay, I was born and raised there, up near Lake Erie. Moved out to Montana after I taught high school for 3 years and lived there for 15 years. Then my wife and I and our 2 kids moved to Vermont 19 years ago. So now we're nor'easters, northeasterners or nor'easters, what they call them. Let's talk about bats. We're going to have a slideshow, and I'm just thinking that group that's way out on the side, if you can't see the images very clearly, when we get to the slideshow, you can move into the middle. Okay. So what do we know about bats? Yes, what do you know about bats?
They are nocturnal.
And can you stand up and tell everybody, some people may not know what nocturnal is. Do you want to stand up and explain what nocturnal is? Bats are nocturnal. Who doesn't know what nocturnal means? Raise your hand. Okay, so there's a few. So just explain what nocturnal means to them.
Nocturnal means that they sleep in the day and they're awake in the night.
Exactly. Good job. All right. So bats are also, there's a really cool word that bats are also besides nocturnal, and it's called crepuscular. I like that word. Does anybody know what crepuscular means? It's a really cool word. Probably some of the adults know what crepuscular means. It means that time before sunrise and right before sunset. Okay? So there are a lot of creatures that are, nocturnal means night, but the time in between daylight and nighttime. Okay? What else do we know about bats? Yes, what do you know about bats?
I know they like to hang upside down in the trees.
They like to hang up upside down in trees. Mostly the males are in the trees. They sort of take care of themselves by them alone. The females, when they're giving birth, they tend to group together. If there's a lot of bats in your attics, they're mostly females. Yes. What do you know about bats?
Hearing is really good.
Their hearing is really good because that's our scientific word for the day. Yes, that's our scientific word for the day. Do you want to stand up and mention that word? This is what, if you're going to study bats or learn about bats, you have to know this word. And what is it?
Echolocation.
Who doesn't know what echolocation means? Raise your hand. So we have a lot of kids that don't know what it means. Do you know? Can you explain it? Or part of it? Like what happens in echolocation? What are the bats doing?
Their hearing is
It is hard for them to see. They see about as well as us. But imagine yourself flying at 35 miles an hour at night with our eyesight. You probably bump into things. So echolocation does what? Who wants to help her out? Yes, what does echolocation do?
It's like, so they make out a high-pitched squeak and it bounces off an object to tell them where it is.
Yes, they're actually screaming, okay? Bats are screaming mostly through their mouth, sometimes through their nose. and it goes out there and it bounces off. Thanks a lot. So, and that's our scientific word for the day. Okay, if they didn't have echolocation calls, they would probably bump into things. They couldn't tell a tree from a clothesline or a building, and they'd probably run into things more often. They also see things flying, things that they eat, and that echolocation helps them not only navigate, but also to find food. Okay? What else do we know about bats? Yes?
They fly.
They fly, and there are only flying what?
At the night. Birds.
Are they birds?
Mammals.
Okay, they're mammals. There are only flying mammals. There's no other mammals that fly. Bats are the only ones. Okay, anything else about bats that we know? A lot of kids have studied bats in school. You guys know more than we did when we grew up because we just didn't study bats. We sort of had the Dracula stories, but we didn't have the good stories about bats. Yes? What's that? They need to sleep 20 hours a day. That's one that I didn't know. Okay? So what else do we know? Yes?
Some bats drink blood.
Some, and do you know what kind of bats drink blood? It's that famous bat that Dracula is all about.
A vampire bat.
A vampire bat. Nice job.
A vampire bat.
Are there any dentists in the room?
Yeah.
Or are you anybody who has a relative who's a dentist? Okay, the vampire bat I call the dentist of the bat kingdom because you know when you go into the dentist's office and you need a filling, they don't just drill your tooth, right?
No.
They do something first. What do they do first so you don't feel that when they're drilling your tooth?
Numbing.
They're numbing it, okay? So they shoot some kind of Novocaine or some kind of thing that numbs the skin. Well, when a vampire bat gets on a pig or a horse or a cow, it scratches away some of the skin. It doesn't drill its fangs into the animal. And then it has something in its saliva that numbs the skin, so the animal doesn't feel it. It also has something in their saliva called an anticoagulant. Anybody know what that does? What's an anticoagulant? These are cool words, aren't they? Crepuscular, anticoagulant. Anybody know what an anticoagulant does? It does. It keeps the blood flowing. So the vampire bat, imagine nature, all this stuff that is coordinated. If you want to see a really cool YouTube video, go to Vampire Bats Plus Pigs, and it's really cool. Somebody's nodding their head over there. They must have seen that. Okay. So what else do we know about bats? Well, yes. Oh, well, I've already called it. Yes.
They hunt at night.
They hunt at night. Right. And what else?
They hunt their food at night.
They hunt their food at night. What do you know about bats? Want some help? Okay,
Bats drink blood.
The vampire bats drink blood. Okay, the slideshow is on 3 beneficial aspects of bats. Okay, let's see if we can figure out 3 good things that bats do. Yes?
They help plants.
They help plants by, as we said, pollinating, okay? So if I'm an apple tree and I have blossoms in the spring, I need pollinators so I can have apples in the summertime. They're butterflies, bees, wasps, flies. Bats do that with night-blooming flowers, so do moths. Okay, what else do? They eat something that we don't like. Yes? Bugs. If you're a farmer, you don't like beetles because they eat your crops, and bats will eat bugs. Okay, they'll eat beetles. This bat right here, the little brown bat, it can eat up to 1,000, 2,000 mosquitoes in one night. Okay, so they fly around and they eat mosquitoes all night long. But they sleep too. Okay, and then the last thing we're going to talk about is what's it called when, let's say I'm an oak tree, and I drop my acorn straight down, and the squirrels take those. They wouldn't grow otherwise because my limbs keep out the sunshine and the rain. But the squirrels take the acorns and they spread them around. So that's what bats do also. It's called seed dispersal. Can you guys say seed dispersal?
Seed dispersal.
Okay, it's very important. The rainforests depend on seed dispersal. All right, a lot of places depend on seeds getting taken away from the mother plant and spread around. So that's what the three aspects of the slideshow are going to be about. I do have a little brown bat here. It's people who have been at the show before cannot answer because we want to have people guess. This is about a 8 to 10 inch wingspan, the little brown bat. Used to be our most common bat, but now because of white nose syndrome, populations have been devastated. We now have, probably our most common bat now is the big brown bat. Okay? Little brown bats hibernate in damp caves, and that's where the fungus grows. So they've been really hurt a lot by that. Okay? How much would do you think a little brown bat weighs? Yes? 15 pounds. What do you think? 20 pounds. Okay, imagine that 20-pound bat trying to. Yes. 2 pounds. Okay. 1 pound? 5 pounds? 10 pounds?
50 ounces.
Let's go, if you're going to go ounces, let's go 16 or under. Or else we can talk about pounds. Okay? I see a girl back there that she has her face is really bright, like she knows, she wants to answer this question. Yes? How many? 6 pounds, and the girl with the reddish hair? Half a pound. So like 8 ounces. I think I'm right. Yes? 2 ounces. One more guess. 4 ounces. The big brown bat, which has a wingspan of about 8 to 14 inches, weighs 1 ounce. The little brown bat weighs about 1/5 of an ounce, so about 2 pennies. Very light creatures. How old do you think a little brown bat would get to be? This is in years. How old? Yes?
2 weeks.
Let's talk about years. They'd be years. We're not talking about butterflies. These are bats. Yes? 10 years. You want to change it? You want to try years?
9 years.
9 years, okay? Yes. 20 years. About 10 years. Yep.
6 years.
6 years.
50 years.
50 years.
5.
5 years. Yes, back there. How many years do you think a little brown bat lives to be?
50 years.
50. And what about you? 7. One more. 2. About 34 years is the little brown bat. 34, 35. Most of our bats about 20 to 25 years. All right, last question about bats. How many, what are bat babies called? Yes. Do you remember that? 3 letters. 2 of the letters are the same, and there's a U in the middle. Yes. Pups. Okay. How many pups does the average bat have in a year? Yes. 2.
15.
15. Yep. 5. 3. 100. Yes. 14.
505.
If you were a monarch butterfly, you'd be really close. That would be eggs. Yes. 4. 1. Give me a high five. Nice job. 1 or sometimes 2. Okay, and so when bat populations dwindle for whatever reason, it really takes a long time for bats to recover. Half of the United States bats are on the endangered species list. What do you think hurts bats the most? What affects their populations the most, do you think? We'll just take a couple guesses here. Yeah. Yep. Habitat loss, that's it. Okay, if we take away their habitat, they can't survive. If we take wildlands away and put in big old industrial cornfields, it hurts the bat populations. Okay, I'm speaking for the bats. If we develop and put big parking lots someplace and take away the wild trees where they roost, it hurts the bat population. So they need wild lands, and that's the biggest thing that affects bat populations. Okay? Before we go into our slideshow, I have a couple things. I mentioned that this gadget here, does anybody, it has a volume control and a frequency control. Does anybody know what this does? And I'll give you a hint. It has to do with what you said echolocation, right? It has to do with echolocation calls. So what is this? Yes?
I think it's an application device. It probably makes out a sound so that the bats come towards it.
Okay, so it attracts bats. That's how it sounds, so that it attracts bats, okay? Yes? Okay, let's do one more, then I'll give you a hint. Yes?
When the bat uses its echolocation, that radar tracks where the echolocation comes from, and that tells you where the bat was.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. That was really good. These theories are really good. It's always good to think about things and try to come up with theories. Bat echolocation calls are too high pitched for us to hear. So there's a human that said, I want to hear that bat anyways. I don't care if it's too high. I want to hear what it sounds like. So they invented something like this. And what do you think it does to those high-pitched echolocation calls?
If a bat's far away, it can connect with sound so you can hear it.
Yes, you can hear it. So this is a bat detector. What does it do with those frequencies so we can hear them? Yeah. Brings the pitch down. Now don't ask me how that happens. I could probably research that, but with 3 and 4-year-olds, I'm thinking, no, I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to go there. So if you want to figure out how this thing works, you'll have to look online and figure out how a bat detector takes those frequencies and interprets them so that we can hear them, kind of translates them. Okay?
I'm 1 year older than 4.
Little brown bat has a frequency range of somewhere between 26 and 40 kilohertz.
So am I.
So if I turn this on and dial it between 26 and 40, at some point I'm going to land on the frequency of that bat, and the little brown bat's going to sound like this.
That's weird.
So very simple. You're going to hear some other bat echolocation calls slow down through a bat detector, and they're going to have different sounds. Some will sound like birds. Okay? This is a big box. Why do I have this here? Why are there little bats all over this? Why do I have a big box like this at a talk about bats? Yeah. What's that? I might have brought a baby bat in here. Is that what you said? A bat. Maybe. But no, I'm not allowed to have live bats. You have to be a zookeeper or a rehabilitator. Bats are really social creatures, and you don't want to take them out of their habitat in their colonies. So what is this? Yes?
It's a box that bats can live in.
Bats can live in it. So if you put this about 10 feet high so they feel safe from predators, and you put it south facing, the mama bats can come up in here and they can have their babies, and it's nice and warm. They want to feel like that they're blending in. So what color would you paint this bat house if the bats wanted to feel like they were blending in, like they were camouflaging? Yeah. Black or brown. Okay, good job. Okay, last but not least, I also have a butterfly game that I created. Half my shows in the summertime are butterfly related and half are bat related. This is an educational game about butterflies. You can learn about what plants to grow in your garden to attract butterflies. You can learn what plants the caterpillars like to eat, so you can have the whole cycle in your yard. So if you have a nature lover that wants to learn about butterflies, normally $24.95, I sell them for $10 and sign them. So I'm trying to get rid of them. 10. Okay? So we can turn the lights off.
I did
Again, we have a little bit of light coming from here, but it looks like this wall is going to be okay. This is a Mexican long-tongued bat. I wonder why they call it a long-tongued bat.
This is because it has long tongue.
Oh, because it has long tongue. Okay.
It's easy. Everybody knows.
So this bat has come back from pollinating flowers. and it's come back to its roost. We're going to see a number of bats that have pollinated mostly night blooming flowers. This is a leaf nose bat, and that's the saguaro cactus flower. Oh, by the way, the photos were taken by Merlin Tuttle, who is the former president of Bat Conservation International, which is an organization that helps educate people about bats. This is a commissar's bat on a hanging markia plant. Let me talk to you about a little bit of bat anatomy. The order of bats is Chiroptera, and Optera means wing, and Chiro means hand. So their wings are just like our hands. There's my thumb, there's my fingers, but they're just webbed. Okay, and then you have little feet that hang on to rocks, other places. Hold on to your questions, and we'll take questions and answers after the program. Some of our bats in the tropics don't use echolocation. They have really strong eyesight, and their food is stationary, like this southern blossom bat.
This one's cute.
Yeah, we have cute bats. A lot of our bats are cute. This is a silver-haired flying fox, which has a wingspan of up to 5, sometimes 6 feet. Here's a number of fruit bats in a tree. A couple of them are curious about the photographer.
It looks like some are doing the down. What the heck? That's
Come on in. If you go to the tropics, Africa, Thailand, South America, you may see bats like this that are coming out for the evening with 3-4 foot wingspans. This is a Mariana's fruit bat. This is a bat that's negotiating a fig. Remember what we said about seed dispersal? If a bat takes a fig or some seed and takes it away from the mother plant, it has a better chance of growing into a tree. Seed dispersal. Flying fox eating a mango. Probably taking the seed and transplanting it someplace, dropping it someplace. Now we're back in the United States. This is a California leaf-nosed bat, and that is a cricket on a cactus plant. Smallest bat in the world is a bumblebee bat. Half the size of our little brown bat.
That thing's cute.
And then we have big fruit bats.
That's giant.
We have bats that swim.
That one has
Fish. Okay, this again, if we were in a really dark room, which sometimes we do, I'm in with these programs, you would see there's a lot of bats coming out of a cave. If anybody's ever been to Carlsbad Caverns, there's 20 million Mexican free-tailed bats in that cavern alone, and it takes hours for them to come out in the evening. We have big-eared bats. These bats don't need echolocation calls. They can hear whatever they're going to eat. Townsend's big-eared bat. This is a colony of adult pallid bats. Again, I don't have a live bat because I'm not allowed to have a live bat at my show. If I were a zookeeper, I could pick the bat out of the zoo, bring it to a show, put it back in its colony, and it'll be perfectly happy. Bats are very social, just like us. Townsend's big-eared bat going after a centipede. Pallid bat going after a beetle. This is a northern long-eared bat, which is an uncommon bat in Ohio. Who knows what it has in its mouth? Starts with a K. Yes.
Cricket.
Cricket starts with C, right? Starts with a K. Yes. Kale. Kale is green. That's true. This is a live insect. Yes, over there. Katydid. Okay, this is the katydid. The next slide is the vampire bat. which I call the disco bat. Vampire bats can run up to 8 miles an hour because they feed on living animals. They need to escape, so they learn to use their legs more than other bats. This is a you can hardly see this vampire bat, but it is lapping up the blood of its chicken. Okay. All right. Now we're going to I'm gonna stop talking. We're gonna listen to a Merlin Tuttle talk about echolocation calls. They're slowed down through a bat detector. Okay.
The following echolocation calls, unless otherwise noted, were recorded in southeastern Arizona using bat detectors with time expansion features and are
Be really
replayed
quiet
several
to hear
times
this.
for more convenient listening. The Old World lesser horseshoe bat, Rhinolophus hippoceterus, an example of a constant frequency echolocator, recorded in England.
So this is slowed down through a bat detector. Normally it would be faster paced and higher pitched, so we couldn't hear it.
A New World leaf-nosed bat, the lesser long-nosed bat, Leptonicterus curassoe. This nectar-feeding species produces its multiple harmonic whispering echolocation calls through its nose. Plain-nosed bats generally send their echolocation signals through their mouths. The desert red bat, Lasiurus blossovilii.
It does. Notice the gaps in its teeth. That lets the echolocation calls out. Most of our echolocators have gaps in their teeth.
I don't even know where its head is.
The southwestern myotis, Myotis auriculus.
Okay, let's have the
Townsend's big-eared bat, Placotis townsendii. The big brown bat, Eptesicus fuscus.
This is one of our most common bats in Ohio. You think it's going to get that moth?
An example of a silver-haired bat, Lasianicterus noctivagans, feeding buzz.
Okay, a feeding buzz is when a bat gets really close to its prey. It lets out echolocation calls so fast that they sort of blend together, so you'll hear that blending.
Mexican free-tailed bats, Tadirida brasiliensis. Echolocation calls with honks added. Mexican free-tailed bats, communication calls at a roost.
Okay, that's the end of our slideshow. We'll take questions, and then after the questions, we'll go into the most chaotic part of our program, but it's the funnest part. And it looks like the sun's shining, so.
Are we going to play a game?
Excuse me, Hannah, I'm gonna sit here. All right, we just have a couple of questions. questions, and then we'll go outside. Come on, you need to sit down first, okay? You just need to sit down. Sit down. All right. Okay, we have a couple. Can you just wait a minute? Okay, hold on just a second. Okay, some of you may have questions about things maybe we haven't covered or weren't clear about. So we'll take a few questions, then we'll go outside and do our T-shirt craft. Yes? Do bats ever rot when they die? Yes. Everything rots when it dies. Okay. We have things called decomposers that will. Hold on a minute. We got about 2 minutes. It's been really hard sitting this long, hasn't it? I know. Okay. Yes. I had a hard time finding a bat specimen because bats do rot all the time, but I did find somebody who had a bat. Can you sit down, please? Yep. Had a friend of mine call me up and say there was a bat flying around. Can you sit down, please? Thank you. Flying around in January, not a good time for a bat to be flying around. So I said, well, this was like 10 years ago. I said, well, I don't have a bat for my bat show, a specimen, in good shape because I can never find one. So the bat died 2 days later, and I took it, and that's where this guy came from. Any other questions? Any adults have questions about anything? Okay. All right, one more question. Yes? I know everybody's ready to go outside and do their shirts. It's a great craft. What's your question? We find bats sometimes out in the daytime. Yes. Bats will sometimes fall off their roost. Okay. Yep.
Procedural thing. So we have our T-shirts. We're going to be sitting outside.
I can't hear
Everybody
it.
needs to be very patient and very calm when we come out. They're going to be in a kind of a small area. We're laying them out on a picnic table over here where we can get them. It would be nice if we could form a line so we could come to the table and we can get a shirt that is right for our size. And I will say, we've got a lot of people, if you brought your own shirt, that's fantastic. It's possible we might not end up having a shirt that's just right for your size. So if we don't, I'm very, very sorry about that. But
Can I mention something about that? I do have some shirts that I bring with me, but I charge $4. So, and I have different sizes, and they're heavy cotton white shirts. So if that's the case and you want to pay for a shirt, I have them.
okay. So when Jerry says we're ready, which is not yet, we will come to the door here. We'll form a line to get to the T-shirt.
Let me go outside first, and then I'll say, I'm not going to say go. Then we'll be ready.
Just come outside.
My brother hit me and me too. Over's hit me in the back. See? She's driving on my foot.
So here, watch this.
Dog, I hear pink. Or if it turns brown, I think I'll like
Have your own new list.
it. Brown or black. If you don't black here, it stays black. And brown turns black. And long turns this way out. Look. Or it turns brown. We need a
T-shirts in my house. I didn't have
If you need one, hop in line.
Get me to choose this out.
And you're going to find yourself a nice spot on the lawn.
Over there.
And you've got your own, so you can go ahead and find yourself a spot out there on the lawn. We're getting more newspaper now.
Once we do this model, then we'll pass out all the stuff.
So everybody, Jerry's going to give us an example of how to do this. Once Jerry's given us our example, we'll be able to know how, and we'll set out and do it.
Catherine, why don't you take anything from here and grass on here? That's like applied into. Not yet. Don't do anything. Don't take anything yet until we do the model. Okay, then we'll test things out.
Got more newspaper coming.
Hey, Nancy. How are you? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Newspaper.
Patient, everybody.
Go back over by home.
We've got more newspaper coming.
Is that going to be over at the table also?
I'm not sure where it'll be. We'll probably sort of pass it
All
around.
right.
You can start putting that.
Yeah, we just need one. We're going to do this one shirt, and then we're going to test things out. So everybody should be by their
I don't want to.
shirt. That'd be great.
Have a seat.
Just not one, just like that.
Once you've gotten your shirt, have a seat on the lawn with your shirt.
Walk over here with
We're finding more newspaper for you.
Ollie, walk this way. Land it.
We're almost ready. Can I put something like right in the middle here? I can.
Don't want to put grass on your stick? Sarah,
No, we could do it ahead.
you put grass on it and then you'll spray paint
Guys,
over
be
it.
sure to share newspaper if you've got a
Even put something right
You
there.
might be able to give some to someone who doesn't have any newspaper yet.
Okay.
We're not supposed to. What do I do now? Wait.
Okay.
Wait, we need to put grass in.
The newspaper you have there. See, two, give me one.
No, I only have one.
So Catherine, you're gonna have to sit back just a little bit because we don't want any dyes on your clothes.
If you don't have any newspaper yet, please put your hand up.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do this model. So if you could pay attention to right here. Adults, when you're doing the spraying, this is a Rit fabric dye. It's not a very strong dye, so when you take the shirts home tonight, you want to throw them in the dryer for about 20 minutes on hot or iron them. That should set the colors, and then use cold water. When you spray, you want to do it really quickly and not to go slow on the trigger or it might drip. I have a red dye and a navy blue, which is sort of purplish. So, Catherine, where do you want the red on your shirt? Just show me where you want just a general area where you want the red. I'm going to be about 6 inches, maybe a foot away. Okay, down there. So red down here. Back up a little bit. So I don't want to get this. It will come out of your skin with hot water and soap, but not out of your clothes. I get it on my clothes all the time. Okay. All right, and what about blue? And I can put more red at different places. Where would you like some blue? Okay, on the sleeves. Okay. Anywhere else you want blue? All across the top. Okay. All right. You want red, more red up here, or you want like through here? Okay. Okay. And then we're going to some of the cutouts. They're brand new and the dyes don't absorb into them. The old cutouts, you're fine. But if you have dye beading on your cutouts, then you want to dab them first. Okay, and then we're going to shake the cutouts all off the shirt. And then we get this. Thank you for being the model. There you go. All right. So dyes for the adults are right here. Whoops. I'll pass these out.
Okay, if you can just pick up the see it, hold it. Oh, isn't that neat? That's great.
Come to a bar with some shakes, grab a couple.
How about right now? Now the momentum takes over and I just go pack up.
That's great. It's wonderful.
You see Mama right there? No, right over here. Wait. Lily, come here. Lily, Mama's right there. And don't forget, everybody, we have another program on Thursday. Move. Nice job. That is cool. Good job. Hold on, hold me here first.
When you're done with your cutouts, put them in here. Back cutouts go in here.
What do you think?
Oh, all the cutouts go in here.
That look pretty good. You like that? All right, awesome. Awesome. Now, should we go ahead and reveal the artwork? Let's take the stuff off. That's cool.
Very cool.
Very cool. Awesome job, buddy. Absolutely. Please. Nice job, buddy. Now we'll slide this out. Just wait. Let me go just turn up. Back to just red and blue? Okay, yes, we can do that. Yeah, okay, it's a good. Yeah, we'll do this, do the whole blue and red thing again. Okay. Nope, awesome. Okay, you want to see this blue? Thank you. grab a blue cane?
Well, we're gonna set it over here to dry out.
And then take the cutouts and put them back in there for me.
Are you done?
Will you spray that one?
See a little dab in full.
Wait a little bit. He's ready to spray. Yeah.
Fast.
They look better than yours. Ours didn't set for some reason.
What's spraying there?
Beautiful.
Getting it in the white.
Using this. Red.
What happened?
Yes, baby. No.
Cover your mouth.
Hannah, put your shoes on. Put your shoes on. Yes. Yes. I should have made
I wonder the when I'm.
Oh, did some?
Actually, we use a slide projector. Athens vlog.
We can help you.
The tape.
We
She just wanted to be consistent with the decade. He's not my dog. Yeah.
Whoa! Hi there.
Wasn't it okay? Because it must have been like people.
I found it, Kevin.
You want me to put that in the car?
If you want to.
I'd like to see.
Let's see what the
I would like to.
Right. Do it like do it
I found it, Kevin.
You want me to put that in the car?
If you want to.
I'd like to see it.
Let's see what the
I would like to.
Right. Do it like do it after